I get it, you're standing in front of a rack of lights, scrolling through endless specs, wondering if any of them will actually save you time and money on the shoots you do every week. You've probably spent a few evenings watching unboxing videos that sound like sales pitches, and you're still not sure whether you'll end up with a light that looks great on camera, but ends up gathering dust because it's a hassle to set up or doesn't play nicely with the gear you already own. That hesitation is real, especially when a $2,000 plus kit can sit in a corner for months if it doesn't fit your workflow. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The Aputure INFINIMAT 1x2 RGBWW LED mat, with its clear inflatable softbox, is marketed as a full-color solution that can replace a whole bank of traditional panels, gels, and modifiers. The idea is appealing. You get a mat that can output pure white, warm white, and the whole RGB spectrum. Plus, you can swap between a flat panel and a softbox in seconds. In practice, the way that flexibility translates to your day-to-day shooting is what matters most. First off, who benefits most from this kit? If you're a freelance videographer or a small production house that moves between interview setups, product demos, and occasional location work, the modular nature of the INFINIMAT can actually cut down on the number of separate lights you need to carry. Because the panels are designed to link together, you can start with a single 12 mat for a tight interview space, and then add another mat for a larger scene without buying a second power supply or a second set of controllers. The built-in Wi-Fi and the Aputure app let you dial in exact color temperature or hue from your phone, which is a huge time saver when you're trying to match ambient light in a cramped studio. For creators who already use Aputure's Lightstorm series, the control protocol is identical, so you won't need to learn a new workflow. Now, let's talk about the two shaping options. The flat panel is perfect when you need a hard, controllable spill. Think of a kitchen demo where you want the light to stay tight on a countertop without washing out the background. The clear inflatable softbox, on the other hand, turns that same mat into a broad, diffused source that mimics a large window. I tried it on a small indoor set with a 3x5-foot backdrop, and the softbox gave a soft, wraparound feel that made skin tones look natural without having to add a separate diffusion panel. The transition between the two is literally a zip-together process that takes less than 30 seconds, so you can switch from hard to soft on the fly during a multi-segment shoot. Durability and weather resistance are also part of the package. The mat itself is built with a sealed aluminum housing and an IP65 rating, meaning it can survive a drizzle on an outdoor location without shorting out. That's a real advantage if you shoot concerts, outdoor interviews, or any event where you can't guarantee a dry environment. The inflatable softbox is made from a clear PVC that's also treated to resist UV degradation, so you don't have to worry about the material getting brittle after a few months of sun exposure. On the downside, there are a couple of trade-offs you should know before you click Add to Cart. The first is power consumption. Because each mat can produce the full RGBWW gamut, it draws a fair amount of current, and you'll need a reliable power source, either a high-capacity mount battery or AC power. In my tests, the included power cable was sturdy but a bit short for a typical rig, so I added a longer extension cord to keep the battery out of the shot. If you're used to running lights off compact battery plates, you'll need to plan a bit more for cable management. The second practical limitation is the size of the softbox. While the inflatable design is convenient for storage, the clear material doesn't diffuse as much as a traditional fabric softbox with a diffusion grid. In very bright daylight, you might notice a slight hot spot in the center of the panel if you're shooting directly into the sun. It's not a deal breaker, but it does mean you may need an additional diffusion sheet or a bounce board to tame that intensity when you're pushing the mat to its maximum output. If you're a hobbyist who mainly films in a controlled indoor environment and already owns a couple of budget LED panels, this kit might feel like overkill. The price point reflects the professional-grade build and the ability to expand the system. So for a single-person studio, you could probably achieve similar results with cheaper fixtures and separate gels. On the other hand, if you frequently need to travel light, switch between hard and soft lighting, or shoot in unpredictable weather, the INFINIMAT's modularity and weatherproof rating become genuine value drivers. Another practical point: the app integration works well, but it does assume you have a stable,